At home and leading Adelaide United 1-0.
Fifth goal of the season for Keegan Jelassic. He scored his last goal in the Big Blue rout on Australia Day. But what was impressive there, Jordan, was the fact he cut back in, took a beat, held his position. It was about placement, not about blasting it by, and he got past Josh Smith that way.
Absolutely, yeah. He's looked to do that a few times already tonight. Pretty much every time he's got the ball wide near the 18-yard box, he looks to cut in on that left foot, go across the face of goal, and this time he was pretty close in to the near post. And he got it past the goalkeeper. But that's the 10th assist of the season now for Juan Mata, who is clearly the leader among all A-League men's players, and the first hit double digits, obviously, with that assist there.
And Willem, it's fast becoming impossible to ignore Juan Mata as the Johnny Warren medalist if he keeps racking them up like this with these assists.
You read my mind, Jules. It was something we were speaking about earlier in the season, wasn't it? He did seem to go quiet for a couple of weeks there. The last time the Victory had a big opportunity to make a statement was against the Wanderers, and early January, and he was a little bit quiet that day. But now, as the season gets towards the pointy end, he is in truly scintillating form. Everyone in A-League circles and around the world saw what he did last week, and as Geordie points out, the 10th assist of the season there.
Victory not lost the last 13 games where they've scored first. It was a 4-2 loss to the Wanderers at Combank Stadium last March, the last time that the Victory scored first and didn't get anything out of it. So they're on track and on course. Make that 14 where they at least get a point, but they want the maximum. They've come for the goal. They lead 1-0. As we are just a tick under 29 minutes into this contest here at Amy Park. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the first shot on target for this match. It's been put into the back of Josh Smith's net. Victory playing from in front as they did last Saturday night, but City were able to equalise quickly thereafter, but Victory blazed away in the second half.
Can confirm that is the first shot on target in this game, just a tick under half an hour in. Again, it's not. We saw Victory create a lot of chances and create a lot of shooting opportunities last week, and probably left goals out there, to be fair. And this is exactly pretty much an exciting difference from them. They didn't take much to hurt. To hurt Adelaide at the back four. They took full advantage of Kikianis and of Kikianis' mistake, and Adelaide being disorganised at the back.
It's a free kick for Adelaide just inside the touchline on the western side, 30 metres out from goal. Munyith and Takuli standing over the ball. It's Munyith who plays it into the box. It bounces past everybody and out for an Adelaide United goal kick. We're a third of the way through on Swan Street. It's Victory 1-0.
The second most expensive team defensively in the top six at the moment, Adelaide United. 28th goal, that is, they've conceded this season. Second to only Newcastle Jets, the league leaders. Just the 3 clean sheets this campaign from their 9 wins and 2 draws. Melbourne Victory, with the help of the heavy deflection, get it up the right wing. Picked up by Charles Nduka. Overlapping is Denny Rawlins gets it into the 18-yard box. And a touch from Jelassic, who was looking for a brace. Just tried to poke it to the goal face, but went too thin across the face. And then the second follow-up from Melbourne Victory. The header from in close is off target. And it's gone out for a corner to Melbourne Victory. Flashing it across the 18-yard box a couple of times. In the end, it was Denny Jonro with the final touch. And they are scaring this Adelaide defence now. 100%.
Just getting onto that touchline, getting onto that byline and really causing some trouble now. Josh Rollins, everybody, starting to find some of that form he displayed in the early season. So important to the way this team attacks. Corner to come.
Corner from the near side up to the northern ends. Victory players break now from the 6-yard box. Coming out is Smits, punches it away. Rolls out towards the far sideline. And it's cleared upfield by White. Last touch off Jonro. Adelaide throw. So they can release the pressure valve a little bit and get everyone upfield into midfield.
This has been the issue, Katie, with Adelaide for quite a while. Away from Cooper's Stadium, they just look a little more brittle down back. They started so well. They took away that transition game, but after conceding, now we're starting to see the old patterns re-emerge.
100%. It's going to create a bit of doubt in their mind as well. This is a real test for them to see what they have learned and see how they have developed after last year. Particularly, the way that they fell off was really concerning toward that late run. But nevertheless, the chance here, though, they've got to find the response here and now. Yull on the overlap in some pretty good space.
He's got Kiddo running past him, goes himself, Yull towards DeCooley at the back post, and it was good marking from Jason Davidson, who kept watertight to Yaya DeCooley. Just got the little nick touch in the end. DeCooley retrieves it from the sideline, keeps the play alive. Adelaide steer it into the top of the D. White rolls around, does a 180 turn in midfield, goes backwards to Kikianis, picks it up again. Referee darts out of the way. Spreads it out to DeCooley on the right wing, looking for a touch to get past Jelassic, who's switched to the left side now, but he doesn't. And his pass up towards Nduka, a slight deflection, takes it off course. And Adelaide retrieve once more. DeCooley, who's getting a bit more of a feel of this game later in this first half as it wears on. They go backwards. White and Barnett just ahead of the centre circle. Alagic tips it back to Bart Vreens. Searching for something here. You can see the intent from Adelaide United. The urgency just clicks up a gear from the visiting team, finding themselves down a goal. DeCooley, first time touch, turns it around a corner but finds no one. Swept away by Esposito. And Adelaide will reset all the way back to their goalkeeper in Smits. And Victory push up. Bring everyone into midfield. Adelaide's happy to try and pass their way through. Their two young midfielders, Alagic and White. One Munith, 33-year-old Spaniard, drops into midfield as well. He's waxing with Bart Vreens at the moment. An obvious option for Munith. Decides to carve out a nice looking pass into midfield. It has opened up something for Adelaide. Getting in behind the lines here. They've got him behind another line. Kito overlaps towards Yull, who takes the first time shot. Warshawski dives in, makes the save. DeCooley follows up and tucks it in. Adelaide United find the equaliser. And it is Yaya DeCooley backflipping his way to the red corner of Amy Park. He had been working his way in the contests. That midfield trio had started to try and pick Melbourne Victory apart. And on the angle towards the right of the goal face, DeCooley thumps it in, and it's 1-1.
Perfect. Perfect from Yaya DeCooley. To me, he looked the one most likely to break this open for Adelaide, and he's proven exactly that. He's an X-Factor player in his own right, and that shows you exactly why. It's a lovely shot to get that one away. Alagic and Yull very keen for that move, very key to that move. Wazowski did well on the save, but defenders in front of him just letting him down and not being able to double back enough, I guess. Just didn't have the wherewithal, the presence to get back. Davidson opts to sit off him and tries to block the shot, but DeCooley's placement oh so pinpoint. And that restores parity here. Just another wrinkle in this what has been a very interesting contest in these first 35 minutes.
Yeah, how often do we see those follow-up shots get blazed wide or straight back at the keeper? He picked it perfectly, DeCooley. He was coming in on an acute angle, top right of the 6-yard box, and he blasted it into the top left corner. Well placed, nothing Warshawski could do. It was well timed, well poised, great composure from DeCooley. Here we go again, new ball game here at Amy Park. It's 1-1.
Perfect positioning as well from DeCooley. That's exactly where you need to be as the opposite winger.
Victory looking to go quickly from the kickoff. They go into the penalty area. Smits puts it into touch. It'll be a Victory throw-in as the Red Army continue to jump and dance and sing. The North Terrace responding in kind. It has a big fight feel about it tonight. Getting down to nut-cutting time in the race for the plate, the race for finals positions. Ball into the penalty area here for Victory. Cutting back, inbound, and just missing. What should have been at the very least on target has been sprayed wide left, and Jelassic maybe leaving a brace out there. He'd love that one back. He did everything right, seemed to have the keeper beaten, but he just put it wide.
Banding and banding back, wasn't it? But just not enough. Jelacic again on the other side, causing some damage. A turnover.
really poor one. Mata wins it back, sends it to Nduka, saved beautifully by Smits. Cleaned up his own spillage. It was 3-on-1 there for victory. Mata picked out Nduka, who shot it straight at the keeper. Smits was able to make the save, did well to clean up his own mess, and now Adelaide looking to hit on the counter. Here's White into the attacking third. He's got 3 defenders to beat. Miranda knocks it off course, heads towards the touchline now, and Yol in possession for Adelaide. 37 and a quarter minutes gone, 1-1 here at Amy Park. Yol goes left to Kitto, who broke the victory's hearts last month in Adelaide. To Yol now, 24 yards from goal, just outside the penalty area. Ball pass, and it's been won on the far side of the ground by Rawlins. Pass it backwards to Jelacic. Nice turn. And Genre leads to Rawlins. Takes it down the touchline. Adelaide covering well.
It's too much flair for the defensive third.
Rawlins is down. Play continuing here. Advantage for the victory. Davidson cutting in from the sideline. Leaves it inbound to Valadon. She could be on here. Valadon's pass looking for Nduka, but it was chopped off by Kikianis, but his pass was deflected. Mata just outside the box. Leaves inbound for Valupale. Saved by Smits. Never left the ground. Would have gone into the bottom right corner, but Smits able to dive on it.
How about the follow-up there from Jordi Valadon to force the issue, force the turnover and open up the space for Mata to try and get that across. Well, gets it across to Valupe, but couldn't get the shot where he wanted it there.
Smits kicks it straight into touch. It'll be a victory throw-in, where Williams down on the touchline just behind it.
Yes, despite the first victory goal, a sleepy first 30 minutes really have exploded to life there over the past 10 or so, haven't they, guys? We'll chat a little bit about Yaya Dukali at half-time, because that's the one thing that's been missing from his game, a few goals, and that will be of great satisfaction to all involved in Adelaide United to see him add that one.
Second goal of the season to Cooley. Goes into touch for a victory throw-in. It'll be Davidson midway into Adelaide's half. Cooley scored against Newcastle Jets a couple of weeks ago. Now he's netted one in the original rivalry. It's 1-1 after 39 minutes. Victory in possession on the halfway line. Esposito gives to Mata. Yet to truly take over this game, one Mata, like he did last week's derby, but he has had a couple of moments. Just needs on the end of it to put it away like we did with the early goal in this contest. It came on the back of a Mata assist for Jelacic, but I feel like he's got another gear or two to go to. Does Mata. Meanwhile, it's been coughed up on the far side of the pitch by Adelaide, by Victory. Jovanovic almost went through, but it's been called back for a Victory free kick, which is taken as a fast pass. Valadon in the circle. Goes left to Davidson. Davidson. Ball pass straight to Vrens. And it's been intercepted by Valadon as we hit the 40-minute mark. We're tied at 1 at Amy.
Roderick Miranda getting over the halfway line for victory. Can open up some yardage here. There was the threat of Rawlins ghosting in behind the line in some space, but Adelaide closed the door and it goes out of play on the near touch line for a throw. 5 minutes to go in regulation time of the first half here at Amy Park. Again, Jelacic, the first goal scorer of the match in the 26th minute, and then Yaya Dukuli nearly 10 minutes later, equalising for Adelaide United. These teams have 1-1 so far, not only on the scoreboard, but on the season as well from their first 2 encounters earlier in the campaign. Ball with Bart Vreens right now, at right centre-back for Adelaide United. United finishing this first half a lot stronger than what they started. Possession, not a lot of attacking intent in the early stages. They've been a lot better in the closing 10 to 15 minutes. Roderick Miranda sliding in from behind on Yaya Dukuli. He's going to go into the book there. The Victory skipper gets himself yellow carded. Presents now a dead ball situation for Adelaide United near the right sideline.
He loves leaving his feet for a challenge, doesn't he, Roderick Miranda? As physical as it gets, always lives close to the edge. And I think that's a fair yellow card in that point as well. Left the referee, our man in the middle, Alex King, little choice there. Little chance there as well either. Davidson, an interesting little confrontation between Jason Davidson and Arthur Dillis on the bench as well. Just, I think, Dillis looking for a little bit more structure and a little bit more organisation at the back in those situations. It's a dangerous area to concede a free kick, as well as a dangerous time in the half. Ticking ever closer to stoppage time.
Second yellow of the season for Miranda. Ronayal and Juan Muniz standing over it. On the right sideline, in line with the top of the 18-yard box. Muniz swings it in. Wachowski made the save. That is a great save from the Victory goalkeeper. Muniz put it right in onto the 6-yard box. There was a shot made eye to eye with Jack Wachowski, who made the snap save and got it away from the goal face. Somehow Victory have kept it to 1-1. And the flag has gone up on the near side for an offside, but we need to take a look at that. I don't know who got the final touch from Adelaide United. Ivanovic was in the central area. It was just before him. Kikianis there, who was just ahead, or Ryan White, one of the two. Got the shot away, and Wachowski was there, dead centre to make the stop. Adelaide pressing the case here, finishing this first half really strong. Kiddo on the left side of the 18-yard box. It spits up in the air, chests it down. It goes out of play, and it goes off a Victory player last, right on the byline. A bit unlucky for the Victory, but a corner now presents itself for Adelaide United. The Red Army are up and about.
Why wouldn't they be? They're sensing an opportunity here now. Their players have lifted a notch. Their players have lifted in their intensity. And shout out to the red wig, the red afro wig there. The fans coming out in full colour and full voice, loving the jacket, loving the colour. Chance now.
Corner comes in from Johnny Yull. Wachowski comes out, didn't get to it. Esposito did instead for the Victory. Rolls out to Alagic, who sends it in. Wachowski was off his line, nearly bent up and over the Victory goalkeeper. He got a paw to it, claws it away. It's another Adelaide corner.
Yeah, big shout out to Redwig Steve. He's got some flack in recent weeks on social media. I don't know why, but it's one of the best fans the league has.
High corner comes in, no one at the back post for Adelaide. That's a waste of a set piece. It goes out of play, and a Victory goal kick coming up in the final minute of regulation time in the first half, where it's Victory 1, Adelaide 1. Fourth official will give us the sign of how many more minutes to be added on soon.
Hasn't this game come to life after the half-hour mark? It's a bit sleepwalky, and then you get that goal from Jelassic, and it's just changed.
That old adage, goals change games. The intensity, the stakes, have just all gone up a little bit higher now.
Goal kick taken. Over the halfway line. Adelaide's will retrieve it in their own half. 2 minutes of additional time to be added at the end of the first stanza. Kings will call it back here. There's a foul somewhere in this passage of play, and so Melbourne Victory free kick coming up.
It's against Mooney. He's jumped into the back of Philippe Lane and then gone in with the forearm as well, so he finished his cross check. He's been watching the Olympics. No glass boards there though.
So Victory setting up a long set piece here. Juan Mata is standing over it, the only man, but he's near the intersection of the halfway line and the sideline, broadcast side of the ground. Sends a long diagonal out towards the right wing area. Comes off ahead of Adelaide United, picked up by Davidson, sends in the second ball, knocked away again from the 18-yard box. Esposito is there. He looks for Nduka, who ran out of room. He was trying to back out of one corner and into more space. Probably the ideal scenario there was for Esposito to hit it. Just don't know if he knows how to. The big centre back. And Smiths bumps it away, out of play for a throw.
What I've been noticing, Katie, is Nduka is better, I think, than Virgos and what Reese have been in getting into good positions, but just that last little bit of polish has been lacking. But he gets himself into good spots.
He does. But the defining, I think, character, or the defining characteristic we're going to look for from him is his finishing ability. Have all the work rate off the ball as much as you like and press all as much as you like. You need to be
for Rawlins, Esposito and Miranda, who's on a yellow card, and Jason Davidson. Geordie Valadon and Denny Jonro in midfield. Keegan Jelassic and Nishan Valupale on the wing. Juan Mata, the 10, and Charles Nduka is the striker, as Jelassic is getting on his bike down the right side. Holds up on the right wing, gets it to Rawlins on the underlap, back out to Jelassic, who stops it on the byline, just a few metres ahead of the corner flag. Tried to nutmeg Bart Vreens, who was not intent on being humiliated, and so he just stuck a shoulder into the chest of Jelassic, but no whistle blown. It goes out of play for a goal kick to Joshua Smits, who's the goalkeeper for Adelaide United. Jay Barnett, Bart Vreens, Paniotis Kikianis, and Ryan Kitto with the back four. Ethan Alagic and Ryan White in midfield, with Juan Muniz as the number 10. Yaya Dakuli, Johnny Yull are the wingers, and Luka Jovanovic is the striker. As Adelaide try and get it clear of their own half. They don't do that, actually. It stays in Victory's attacking half. And it goes out of play for a throw. Came off Victory last, so Adelaide possession near their defensive third. Throw to be taken in at right back. Just a little deliberation here for Jay Barnett. Couldn't quite decide. Throws it into the centre of the ground, and Melbourne Victory win possession back with Rawlins, who keeps it in the air via the header. And it falls back to Adelaide. A back and forth here between the two back fours of both teams. So we'll just wait for possession to be controlled by one of the two parties. And a whistle in all of that has blown in the centre circle. Denny Jonro just got a little clip on the way through. Lying on his front at the moment in the centre of Amy Park.
An interested onlooker in front of us in Louis Dorigo. For Victory's sake, they'd want him back in the squad very, very shortly on the run home to finals.
We've got the inactive Victory players right in front of us, so we can measure the mood from the Victory camp in real time, literally about 2 metres away of us in front of the window. Play continues. Melbourne Victory in possession. Denny Jonro back up and running. He's got it on the right wing here, overlapping. Gives it to Jelassic, who's here on this pocket as well. Jonro retrieves it again. Whips it in, looking for Nduka. It was a good-looking ball, had great shape on it. Kikianis and Bart Vreens got together. They closed out Nduka, and Kikianis got his shin pad to it. Out it goes for a corner to Melbourne Victory at the southern end of Amy Park. Mata comes across to take it.
A chance to turn the screws here. They haven't had much success at the set pieces here tonight. And it comes.
A footed delivery from Mata towards Nduka. Goes beyond him, headed up and away by Vreens. Back into midfield as a 2-on-2 battle rages on. Jelassic just turns it around the corner, finds Mata, who's trying to... He also tried to nutmeg Ryan White. Didn't make it count though. Ryan White made some contact with Mata, and there's going to be an extra hold up here as a play down behind play. That is Juan Muniz. Alex King comes across and immediately signals to the Adelaide technical area to get their boys onto the case. And out comes the physio. 49 minutes have been played here at Amy Park. Melbourne Victory 1, Adelaide United 1. First match of this round 19 slate of games. 4 matches coming up tomorrow. Quadruple header starting off with Auckland and Melbourne City at 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. The F3 Derby, Mariners and Jets. Brisbane and Perth at 6 o'clock, and then Macarthur and Western Sydney at 7:35. So there'll be a little overlap just with those last 2 games. Not too much though. 20 minutes or so.
Well, that's the 2. They've got 10 games tomorrow of the F3 Derby and Macarthur and Western Sydney. You can put the collective call of Brisbane and Perth on, so you don't have to miss anything.
And the final game of the round on Sunday, Wellington and Sydney FC to finish it all off for the weekends.
Tell you what, Melbourne City, Katie, they need to get something out of that trip to Auckland if they're any hope of getting back into the season.
Yeah, we talked about the struggle that they're having trying to balance out their commitments between Asia, which they, and kudos to them, they are succeeding very well in that. That being said, you win championships with a chance to play in Asia, and I'm not going to have them out, complaining about the issues that they're having balancing the squad. You are to plan for that. You want to compete in Asia, well, here's the thing, you got to be ready for that. And they're not meeting that standard right now. Let's say that. But ultimately, high stakes for that one in Auckland. I don't see them getting anything out of that, to be fair.
One Munith looked like a left groin, but he's back up on the park, and we continue on after 50 minutes. It's 1-1.
Original rivalry, delicately poised here on this Friday night, a warm Friday evening in Melbourne. That is a moment that Esposito would like back again. He launched it into the penalty area. He was trying to deftly place it at the top of the arc, and he overshot his target substantially. Down to the sideline, Willem.
Yeah, we've really only played 3 or so minutes through this opening 6 with that lengthy break for one Munith there. Adelaide substitutes are up and on the bench. As we've said, plenty of options for Ayrton Andrioli as this second half wears on. He's Dupley on the right wing now.
DeCooley looking to cut back in, does so, fires it and misses the target considerably. Now for a victory goal kick. 51.5 gone as the victory bench remain down at the northern end, and the Adelaide bench, Willem's just gone by, heading down to the southern end.
Yes, I'm not sure they go to the northern end. That's still humming. There's a post-orchestrated feel still around the ground, despite the fact that we haven't had that much football.
It's got that Rebs feel about it at the moment. Goal kick for Melbourne victory. Shawski has certainly proven himself to be the #1 shot stopper. His save late in the first half to keep the scores tied, magnificent. A flick of the ankle to keep the ball out. Jack Duncan initially was named as the starting keeper tonight, that was in error. He remains on the bench, along with the likes of returning Reno Piscopo. Shawski did well to come out of his box and force the deflection off Ivanovic for a victory throw-in deep in defence. Virgos, Santos, Grimaldi on the bench as well for victory, while for Adelaide United, Infalami, Duzel, Joey Garuccio. I'd say, Katie, it's probably victory with the stronger of the benches.
Yeah, you got to look no further than that man, Matt Grimaldi. Really someone who's been a game changer off the bench, and he would have changed the game earlier this season in Adelaide. It's a good move by Yell in the offing.
Yell crosses it into the box. It took the slightest defensive deflection, but it's been left for a shot from Barnett. That was more in hope than anything else. He misses the target to the near side and out for a goal kick at the 53-minute mark. The score's tied at 1. Grimaldi scored the equaliser and probably should have scored the winner, although that debate has raged on in the 6 weeks since that incident. The player deemed to be in the line of sight, was in an offside position. Whether or not it would have made a difference, well, that has certainly been debated. And depending on your side of the Nullarbor divide is generally how you view that incident. It was Adelaide who got the points that night. 3 points still dangling in the balance here. 3 crucial points in the battle for finals placings and the race for the premiership. An opportunity to make a potential late surge for one of them. Certainly the top 2 is in play, and if you finish in second, well, you go straight through to the semi-finals and you get the all-important second leg at home.
Going to have our first substitute here as well, guys. An early one in the second half. It's going to be Xavier Stella coming on for the Melbourne victory. Coming off, it's going to be the number 10, and that would, of course, be Denny Genro, who's now slowly and forlornly making his way to the touchline. So an early substitute for Melbourne victory.
What is going on in the north end? Everyone's got their hands in the direction of one guy. It's almost like they're doing a baptism.
It's the
Horto Magico.
It's a classic Horto Magico chant.
It's been a while since we've seen that.
It's one of the OG chants from the North Terrace.
It's been a very long while since we've seen that.
So Who Are We was even like a marketing ploy as well from Victory as part of their membership drive a couple of seasons back. Tony Popovic's last season, I believe that was.
Yes, I do remember that. Actually, that was his first season.
First season, yes, there you go.
Season.
Yes.
After the depths of the Rebner era.
Don't go there, Jules.
So we're long past that. 55 gone, 1-1.
Start of the second half, much like the start of the first. Very slow pace to proceedings. A couple of shots here or there, but overall, general play has been a little lacklustre as Yaya Dakuli tries to do something about that, but he's upended by Roderick Miranda, who punches a long ball forward towards Charles Nduka, who is sprinting ahead, but he's just thwarted at the last second by Kikianos, who got back and hooked it over his head back into midfield. And now Adelaide will try and stretch the field vertically down the other way. Johnny Yull on the left wing is just beaten to it by Rawlins. Plays it along the ground towards Jelassic, and it's cleared away by Ryan Kitto. Throw in taken quickly by Rawlins. Goes infield to Mata. Now forward to Jelassic again. Ball ran under his foot, couldn't control it. Adelaide pick up the pieces. Very clean in midfield from Munith. Out of play, throw in.
Last question. I really don't think we've seen Horto Magico for quite a while. Certainly not in the last year.
There was a pretty big change in the terrace, to be honest, in terms of like the lead, in terms of the leadership. There are different chants and more new chants that you're seeing now, but that's a classic. And I think will always remain part of the Victory repertoire.
Very big in Central and Eastern Europe as well, that chant. Goes out to the right wing here for Adelaide United. Making roads down the right wing for Yaya Dakuli. Roderick Miranda is out to meet him there near the corner flag. It goes out of play. Probably Adelaide's ball.
It's been fascinating to watch the north end, the North Terrace, the home end, and got this transformation in real time over the last few months. It's now at a point where it's starting to become more and more active with each passing game. Is it at the glory levels? Nowhere near it, but it's now starting to become a bit more recognisable.
Recognisable but different in the sense that some of the elements that probably brought it down are now no longer part of it.
Oh, clips it into the area, cleared away by Victory.
It's refreshing to see.
Undoubtedly. Terrace culture was how important that was to some of the early season and the early momentum of the A-Leagues. We've gone away from that in a little bit, but it's good to see it coming back bit by bit.
It's what set Victory apart, George, especially.
Yeah, that was the difference, wasn't it? Because you had the sort of quote-unquote European culture that Melbourne Victory brought to the A-Leagues, which you didn't quite get from other teams, not until Western Sydney came along later on. And even to now, it still remains a point of difference. Adelaide United are trying to prod and probe here, Melbourne Victory. Victory happy to just sit off them for a little bit, getting a read on what the Reds are doing. Adelaide playing a lot of football in their own half at the moment. Deep back to their centre halves and their goalkeeper. At the top of their own 18-yard box. Not really anything to threaten Melbourne Victory until they try and throw the long vertical forward, which they do here again in the Ivanovic direction, but Esposito and Rawlins combine on the right side of Victory's defence, usher it away. Adelaide pick it up again at midfield. Kitto runs 15 metres ahead of the halfway line and gets intercepted by Rawlins, who did really well. Gets it back in possession for the Victory in a central area. Mata pushes it on. Rawlins sticks his head down and sprints. Gets to the byline and the ball just beats him as it rolls on. It was just better by half. Good football in the pass from Juan Mata for Josh Rawlins, up for a goal kick.
Is it me, or did Rawlins have an extra stride there that he probably could have used?
He sort of gave up on it a little bit and then hesitated, then went, I can maybe get there, and ran on again. Had he just run consistently at run pace all the way through, he might have got to it.
When you're caught in two minds like that, when you're in that no man's land, you don't get the better of it, unfortunately. Just a couple of strides more, as you say, Jules, I reckon he would have been in there.
Goal kick from Smits. So will this game have another goal? We're at 1-1 at the moment, at the hour mark. The second half is just threatening now to start to break open as legs begin to tire. Teams try to search for the win. Both know what's on the line as they look to entrench themselves further in the top six. A yellow card is being shown here, I think, for Charles Nduka, who goes in the book, the new man at the Melbourne Victory. So it's two players who have been cautioned for the Victory tonight, Miranda and Nduka. We're at 60 minutes. Melbourne Victory 1, Adelaide United 1.
Down at the touchline, Willem, it seemed that it was a bit of a late call there from the referee.
Yeah, I think he was just going to see if there was a possibility to play on, Jules. But I'm interested, guys. Let's get serious about Charles Nduka here. We've seen him involved in a promising way once. It was early in this half when the ball was played over the top, and he's got something to chase. That's how he scored his goal against Brisbane Roar a couple of weeks ago. Outside of that, when the defence is compact and Victory are looking to play their way through, I'm really not convinced that he's offering too much.
Yeah, got it in one, I reckon there, Will. To be fair, he's okay. I like the work he puts in off the ball. He's trying to close down Kikianis now. He's bearing down. He just changes the nature of Victory's press, which is something that Virgos does not do. But again, you're judged off goals, aren't you?
At the moment, he's left lacking. Just the one so far is Adelaide have broken the press here. White looking to thread it into the box. He's beaten everybody. Rounding the keeper, Jovanovic. Oh my goodness! Washorski! You get 10 years for that kind of armed robbery. Jovanovic is going to have nightmares about that. It should be 2-1 to the Reds. The pass went past the defender. Jovanovic had everybody there. And he's tried to flick it on for heaven knows what. Washorski making the save. But Jovanovic has blown it.
Well, he's hit the post. He didn't hit the target. He beat the goalkeeper. He got around Washorski and maybe got spooked by the Victory defender getting back on the line. He had a closing window and he didn't even hit the target, hit the woodwork.
And he might be about to pay the ultimate penalty as it goes into the box here for Victory for Valadon. He's lost it, and then a little wrap of the arm on Takuli against the Victory defender Jelassic, who now goes into the book. There's a goal and a card. 62 minutes into the game.
Washorski was beaten there, Katie. He didn't have anything to do with that. He just got lucky that the ball ricocheted back to him, the goalkeeper. That's all Jovanovic. That's his error.
It's a poster.
He won't get a better chance than that, you think, tonight, Luka Jovanovic. Although kudos as well to Jason Davidson is coming off and running, getting on to the goal line. I reckon that might have further left him in two minds or further spooked Jovanovic. But that, he'll be having nightmares about that one. Wazowski took the risk. He went for it. He gets the better of it somehow, some way. Luck on his side, but how interesting is it that when you take the game on, luck tends to go your way? But it's a replay here. They might go further again.
Washorski judged it better that time. Initially credited him with the save. He had nothing to do with that. That was all the post. That's twice now that the post has saved Melbourne Victory. One crossbar, now one post. But might not be this time. Muniz pulls the trigger. Well, that was not in the same postcode as the goal. 63 minutes gone. It stays 1-1. And Nikos Virgos is about to be subbed on for Melbourne Victory. So I think Charles Nduka's night is about to come to an end.
Looks like we're going to have a second substitution at the same time, Jules, with Matt Grimaldi warming up. So we'll see perhaps one of the wingers. Volupile has been a little bit quieter than Keegan Jelassic, but we'll see which way Arthur Dulles goes momentarily.
Well, that was the Auckland moment, wasn't it, last year in the semi-final? Hit the post almost in the same way. And we know it ended up costing them a grand final. How costly will that poster be for Adelaide United, not just tonight, but in a month and a half when you have the final count? Esposito gets in the attacking third, rolls it out right. Jelassic crosses it into the box. Valadon leaves it back for Mata. In traffic, Mata straight at the keeper. Saved by Smits. It's opening up now. 64-minute mark, 1-1.
Generally, you expect the lines to open up and the space to start to open up a little bit more as those legs start to tire. Adelaide's just still trying to play out from the back, just living a little bit on the edge here.
We've seen it blow up in their face before. In the centre circle, Miranda wins it for Victory. Now Valadon goes back to Davidson. Davidson outbound. Think behind the back here, and now Volupile on the burst. Moves up to Valadon. Now to Martel, who's a back with Jelassic, pulls the trigger. Just too high. Goal kick for United, and we'll have a double substitution here. No, it's being waved off by the assistants here for Victory. Very late.
They want a third one. They're bringing Santos up.
They're going with a triple sub.
It is going to be Volupile coming off for Grimaldi and Nduka for Nikos Virgos. And it is Claras Mario Santos, who's been in red-hot goal-scoring touch. It's going to be Keegan Jelassic, tonight's goal scorer, to make way for him. So a full change across the front three for Victory. And a fourth, Juan Mata coming off. Bit of the old FIFA about it when you can't be bothered pausing it 3 times. Just get them all on now.
This is interesting. A change in mindset perhaps here for Victory. This has all the elements of all-out attack now. Speaking of FIFA, when you move into full-on ultra-attacking.
All hands at the wheel. Ultra-attacking mode. Players attacking the box. You know it's coming. I don't know if it's going to disrupt Victory's flow, though, to be honest. When you make changes like this, doesn't always hit the way that you want it to because it's too drastic a change, to be fair. But let's see. Like for like, so these players are no strangers to each other. That is most certainly. See how it goes.
Did they pull the pin on one sub? Valupale's still out there.
Yes, they must have. And if I can just jump in one more time, that would have been 5 subs still with 25 minutes to go. So perhaps they have kept one up their sleeve.
Yeah. Valupale's kept his spot on the left side, but Grimaldi is on. Burgos leading the line, and Davidson in possession at the moment, losing possession as Valadon dives in as well, trying to win it back for the victory in desperation. Ball goes out of play. It will be a Victory throw, and a yellow card coming out here. That'll be to Alagic.
Yeah. Alagic's ticket. Very aggressive from Arthur Dillis, Katie. I don't remember him making 3 subs in one go.
I guess he senses the opportunity here. He senses Adelaide defensively are there for the taking. He doesn't die wondering. I will give that to Arthur Dillis. He's not afraid to make the sub, not afraid to make the change when it needs to be made. Valupale short of a gallop here. I wonder if he should have been the one to make way for Santos. We'll see how this. It's a fresh impetus, that's for sure. It's fresh legs. It's a bit of a substitution that's going to keep Adelaide on the edge a little bit, you'd have to say as well.
Well, Victory have been given chances, haven't they? Adelaide should be 2-1 up, 3-1 up. They had the chance at the end of the first half with Ryan White from 2 metres out, which was saved, and then Jovanovic's shot off the post. But they've come closest in this game since it was 1-1. And Melbourne Victory not living on the edge because they've been good as well as the ball comes in. It's a bit too deep for Virgos and goes out the back. They haven't been out of the contest. They've certainly been well in this, but just Adelaide have had the better chances. They've been gifted the luxury of it still being 1-1 at the moment, Victory, and the chance to still have a go at all 3 points. 68 minutes played.
11 shots, 4 of which are on target for Victory. 9 shots, 4 of which are on target for Adelaide United.
Valupale on the right wing, steps offside.
Still tense, still on a knife's edge here.
Adelaide with it on their own byline. Cleared up the field by Kikianis. Esposito fails to trap it on the halfway line. And comes off Ryan White out for a throw. Rawlins will spin this one back in for Victory. He goes backwards first to Esposito. Just over 20 minutes to go in regulation time in this contest. Scores haven't changed since the half-time interval. Melbourne Victory 1, Adelaide United 1. Roderick Miranda overhits the pass as he was making way into the Adelaide United half. Goes through all lines and goes out the back for a goal kick. To Victory play with a more aggressive press, just to contribute to that Nduka chat from a moment ago. I wonder if they were not pressing to just keep the space open for Nduka in the final third, because he does love to run onto the ball more than he does hold up. Do they try and press more now that Virgos is on here? Is this kind of the back to plan A from the start of the season, Katie?
I think what you need Virgos dropping in a little bit. You need Virgos dropping into those midfield positions where Marta ideally would occupy, and he would just allow Grimaldi, Santos and Valupale just to run off him. That is what I think the best opportunity is going to be. Virgos not as good and not as adept at closing down space on his defenders as Nduka is. I don't feel. Small sample size, yes, but he is more of a target kind of striker. He's more of a taller target man type, but Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see him isolated, and that's been the biggest issue. That when he has been playing, he's just been away from his team. He just hasn't quite had the supply that he needs. He's just kind of on an island more often than not. He just needs to drop in and just be a bit more active if he's going to have an impact in this next 20.
First substitute on for Adelaide. It's Juan Muniz coming off. He spent a bit of time on the pitch earlier in the half. Of course, he's been replaced by Luke Giselle, who comes on for his 17th appearance of the season.
1-1 after 70.5 minutes. Going for Adelaide, just shy of the halfway line on their right wing. Throw in White in close quarters to Cooley. Coughs it up. White looking to scramble, runs into traffic, loses ball, and now it's Victory looking to hit in transition. Grimaldi leaves it up for Rollins. Into the box, Burgos! What a save, Smith! Rebound, chance! They got in each other's way! The chance was there for Matthew Grimaldi. He got all tangled up. Now it's going to be a free kick going to Adelaide United. Well, it should have been an opportunity for Grimaldi. Grimaldi ended up seeing Nishan Volupale run in front of him, essentially as another defender. The save from Smits was world class. And as much as they were robbed there by Smits, they robbed themselves.
Further denied against Adelaide United, Matt Grimaldi. So the curse of the Reds on him at the moment. We'll see if he can break free of that.
Josh Smits with a wonderful save. Victory now looking to get loose down the left-hand side. The ball just a little too strongly hit. Kikianis, though, gives it up cheaply to Volupale. Maybe owes his team one. Flicked on here. Volupale looking to cut in. Kikianis did well to trap it. Played through by Davidson. It's a wasteful pass. It goes out for a goal kick. Grimaldi, an instant game changer, comes into this contest. Grimaldi tried to turn. I think Volupale's presence put him off a little bit there. He wanted to hit it first time, Grimaldi. Failed to do so. Wouldn't that be fitting if it's Grimaldi who gets the final say tonight, after he was denied 6 weeks ago in Adelaide? Result as it holds, a point each, it's a goal each. And the teams that would benefit most from that would be Sydney FC and Auckland FC. They'd be more than happy for this one to finish in a split decision. It's an advancing ball from Miranda, it deflects into the path of Grimaldi. Grimaldi now leaves it out right to Rollins. Rollins plays it into the box, it just skipped past Stella. And now to Cooley, looking to turn and go. Adelaide look like they've got the spare out here, as it's been played inbound by White from the touchline. Finds Duzel, but that was well won by Davidson for the victory. Now both sides' defences are starting to break apart here. Volupale leaves it in the box to Virgos. A cute angle, forced to stop near post by Josh Smits, and a corner kick for the victory.
Adelaide are completely losing their shape here. They've got to get themselves well drilled again, because their formation, which was so tight in the first 60 or so minutes of the game, generally speaking, there was a couple of times they got unstitched, but it's been pretty good. They're completely at sea now, Katie.
All over the place. That 6s and 7s doesn't quite do it justice. They've been well run through here now. They need to establish some possession. They need to establish a sense of control. The back three's just been worked through. This setup from Andreoli, as bold as it is, it's just starting to leave them open now.
Short corner, Grimaldi receives it back. Now he stands on the goal line, cuts back inbound. He's upended. It was not the best delivery. It's cleared away here by the Reds towards the halfway line. Rollins will take back possession in his own half for the victory. 74.5 gone, 1-1 here at Amy Park. Esposito now holding up behind the circle. Everybody stays stagnant now. Comes to Miranda, now finding Esposito once more. He's going to hit the diagonal. Left towards Santos. Headed towards the touchline by Barnett, who will go out for a victory throw-in. They take it quickly. It's left outbound. In by Santos. And they'll reload here, George through Stella.
Stella plays it in behind the lines. Victory into the 18-yard box, but Adelaide had the numbers there. They shut the door on the Victory. Vreens gets it away, plays it past the Victory lines into midfield for White. Works it over to the left for Kitto. Down the line for Yull. Steps on the ball. He's got Rawlins ahead of him, forcing him backwards, not making him turn. They go backwards to Kikianis, who's got it inside the 6-yard box. He was waiting for Smits to try and peel away from his goal face. Smits wasn't quite game enough to do that. Foreign territory for a goalkeeper, away from the mouth of goal. Victory win the ball back in the midfield zone. The pass forward, though, is a bit wayward. Adelaide retrieve it again. Can Adelaide break the lines? There's some space in midfield here now for the Reds. They'll swing it down the right side to Jovanovic. Just needs the ball to sit for him. He does. It drops inside the 18-yard box. Steps aside, Valadon gets past another one in Miranda, then runs into a dead end. And Valadon will clobber it away. Chester down by Kitto. Bears down on the 18-yard box. Kitto, swirling shot, goes up and over. Knuckleball through the air, but Warshawski just watched it continue to rise over his head and into the North Terrace.
Another substitute here for the away side, Adelaide United. It's going to be Brodie Burkett, who have scored an extraordinary hat-trick in just his second game against Brisbane Roar. He's on for his 7th appearance of his professional career, coming off the number 9, Luka Jovanovic, who I still think, despite a couple of brilliant saves from Josh Smith, I still think that his miss is the defining moment of this half thus far.
Surprising, would you say, Willem, that Jovanovic is the one coming off?
It would surprise me a little bit, yes. I think he's got the fitness, he's got the physicality, he often plays the full 90, and we do also at times see him play in a front two, so I think there could have been room for the two strikers there, but Ayrton Andrioli has seen differently. This could really go either way with 15 minutes of regular time to go.
Melbourne Victory 1, Adelaide United 1. 77 minutes played, so 13 plus stoppages left in the contests. Adelaide United looking to get the ball flowing through midfield. Just pinballs back for a second. Picked up by White, looking for De Cooley. Stepping in there was Davidson. Nicks it away, gets it to Valadon. Looking to open up a yard of space for Josh Rawlins, who's starting to fatigue at right back. He plays a nice pass into Grimaldi, cuts it back. Lapped down by Kikianis and cleared off by Johnny Yull into the centre circle. Miranda's head goes backwards. Esposito was there backing him up. And he directs it back to Warshawski. Burkett's first involvement is to slip over, changing direction, gets the Bronx cheers from the North Terrace. Melbourne Victory still in possession up until I just said that. Davidson, it's taken off his feet by De Cooley, but Adelaide lose it out of play. And there'll be another change here for the Victory, their final substitution. Willem?
Yes, 5th and final, Reno Piscopo back into the matchday squad after injury and now back onto the pitch. He replaces Nishan Velupala.
Quality performer Reno Piscopo, a match-changing player. Luck not on his side with injury in season 2025-26. See what he can do here. I like the initiative by Dillis to make the change.
So that's Victory's lot. They've made all 5 changes. Adelaide United still have 3 more that they can make in their final stoppage of play. Thrown in by United. They'll go back to Smits, the goalkeeper. He wastes no time in launching it forward. Gets it up into the final third for Burkett, who knocks it backwards to De Cooley. Into White, looked to turn away from Xavier Stella. Stella held his ground though, did very well. Finds Piscopo in midfield. He's battling away with Duzel. Duzel wins it back for Adelaide. Alagic will find De Cooley on the right wing. He's running at Jason Davidson. Eyes up, looking inboard. Sees nothing he likes. Too many Navy shirts in there. Goes backwards and backs out. Adelaide will come centrally now for Alagic, who steps through the lines, takes the shot, and it pins into the hands of Jack Warshawski, who gets down and makes a safe save down low at his near post. Shot on target, but an easy save for the goalkeeper, and that's a wasteful ball from Esposito, who goes with the vertical pass all the way to the final third, but there was no Victory player in the area, and bounces into the hands of Smits. Adelaide in midfield for Ryan White. There's a loss of possession here. Here's Virgos, who gets it back. He looked to lay it into the path of Piscopo, but he's overhit it, and it's gone through everybody. And there was no chance that a Victory player was on the end of that. Out for a goal kick. 80 minutes, have gone. 10 minutes of regulation to go, and the score is still 1-1 between Melbourne Victory and Adelaide United.
Half pass, half shot, Katie, and he failed at both.
Takes some doing, hey.
Yeah.
To be fair, once you're in 2 minds like that,
Here
it's
he
going
is
to cost
again.
you.
Just outside the arc. This time he pulls the trigger and he misses wide right. That time he was one-minded, but he's missed the target.
Not good enough once again. Victory's marquee man, their marquee striker, not delivering when he's been counted on the most to do so. I thought he was on the same wavelength with Piscopo in that moment. He just didn't execute it well enough, and he had the space to do better than plot the shot just a little bit better than fire it off, but off target, another blown chance by the Victory.
They're piling up. Both sides have missed their chances in the second half. 3 valuable points in the offering here. Here's Virgos, shoved over. No, referee said get up. Well, I thought that was a push there from Kikianis. Referee had a different idea. And Stella plays it down the right-hand wing. Here's Grimaldi looking to cut in. Holds possession. His pass, though, left lacking. Intercepted by the Reds in the defensive third. Well tackled, though, by Rollins. He's going to win a throw-in. 25 metres from goal. Western side, 1-1. 81 and a half gone. It's thrown into Stella. Now to Piscopo. As you mentioned, Katie, he's had a rotten go of it with injury. Now Grimaldi in the box. Grimaldi's shot was blocked. Was that by Virgos? It's cleared out into touch. It will be a throw-in. Surely Virgos didn't block his own teammate's shot there.
I don't think so, but we're going to use the benefit of the replay. Grimaldi cutting in.
Thankfully, no. It went into the keister of Kikianis.
Well played, well played. Again, he had the angle there, didn't he? He was shaping up pretty well. Virgos taking his man out of it there.
Belladon, Piscopo, Grimaldi! Straight at the keeper.
Gee, he gets himself in good areas, doesn't he, Grimaldi? He's a smart footballer.
He is. He really, really is. Not lost to the A-League at all with the closure of Western United or the hiatus of Western United. He has a certain aura about him, doesn't he? Something happens, there's a certain frizzen in the air when he gets on the ball.
Well, he's gone to a new level since the stoppage time winner at the Christmas Derby, hasn't he?
100%. His reputation following him around there, and he's living up to it with each passing week.
Rollins was in an offside position, but the ball was played out by the opposition, so Piscopo has it, and it's continued almost past to the referee there. Stella did well, but then coughs up possession. Reds with it in the defensive third. Here's Kitto. Kitto looking to go down the left edge. It's been chipped into touch by Rollins. It'll be a throw-in for Adelaide United. 1-1 is your score, 83 minutes into the game. This result, it harms both sides. We finish all square. It helps Auckland, it helps Sydney. Keeps Adelaide at bay. And joining them on 32 competition points. And it keeps Victory a couple of games back from them with 7 to play. And their top 4 hopes will be fading. A big night for both sides, but you'd argue it's bigger for Victory because of that reason. Ball thrown in. And Adelaide are going to get some extra territory here as White forces the deflection of a Victory defender. They're throwing in the attacking third, 1-1. 84 minutes gone. Adelaide looking to make 2 subs here. It's passed back to their own half for Adelaide. Kikianis. Retreat back to Smits. Smits will offload it to Alagic. Alagic will give it off to Vrins. Vrins back to the keeper, Smits. Takes his heavy touch. Hacks it down the right wing. Bounces to Miranda. Miranda had a miscue with the header. De Cooley now with it 30 yards from goal. Turns, faces goalward. Leaves the pass. Now Burkett in the penalty area. Gives it off to the right. It's flicked towards goal and over the top. Until he didn't trouble Wachowski that much. And we'll have a double change here, Willem.
Yes, 2 here for Adelaide United. There's only 5 minutes of regulation time to go, but you think we might have another 5 or 6 on top of that. It's an ex-Victory man in Ben Falami coming on, as is Panache Madana, a versatile player up the right wing, coming off Yaya Bakuli, so you'd expect that would be or he will be the man who's replaced by Madonna, and we're just waiting on the other number to go up.
Johnny Yole.
Johnny Yole, excuse me.
Fair changes too, to be fair. The Cooley's put in an absolute shift, but I think what that's going to mean is Madonna plays more of a full-back role, a right-back role, just to kind of, I don't know, just add a bit of tightness toward this Adelaide defence and just try to close things down just a little bit more. Way too porous at the back. Madonna might go a long way to sorting that out. Some fresh legs at the back.
I don't know what Adelaide's mentality is here. So, as you said, Madonna, defender, can go forward. And then Falami is a forward. But do they go for the win? You'd like to think they do, but do they also just settle for a point on the roads? Victory are going to go for it, though. You don't expect anything less from them at Amy Park. Ball in from Esposito, who's won back by Adelaide United. Now the flag's going to stay down here. Burkett was the man in, and charging a long way out from his goal liners was Shawsky, who had to read that inch perfect, and he did. Made the sliding challenge well outside of his box to ricochet out of play. Adelaide take the throw. They go back into the centre circle. Kikianis. Send it upfield towards Mandana on the right wing. Bounces just beyond him. He does well to keep it infield on the byline. Prevents the goal kick. And got it off Davidson. So it's going to be an Adelaide throw here in a good area. Thrown in by Barnett. Goes backwards to Duzel. Now it's Kikianis again, who wants to play another long ball forwards. That's not it that time. Floats over everybody and out the back over the byline for a goal kick. 3 minutes to go in regulation. 87 minutes elapsed on the clock. Melbourne Victory 1, Adelaide United 1. Adelaide starting to press a little more here. Melbourne Victory beginning to make some errors. Ball goes out of play in front of Falami, coming off Victory last. Kitto will take the throw, wearing the captain's armband. Is he? Sorry, no, that's the sponsor. I beg your pardon. Bart Greens, the skipper. Smits goes long, sends a long one up towards the edge of the area. Wachowski out of his box, heads it back into midfield. That was his only option and had to get it right. Towards Grimaldi. Santos turns it around the corner for Piscopo, who picks it up on the sideline. Gets it rolling now for Victory, but his pass inward was poor. Alagic is there to intercept quite easily and then gets shoved over in the middle of his collarbones by Nikos Virgos, who's been shown a yellow card. More for the chat back to the referee, Alex King.
Frustration out of Virgos more than anything else there. Heavy challenge come across it, with a very traditional forwards challenge, you must say. But I struggle to see him trying to break through the starting 11 now based off this performance right now, to be fair. I think that spot is in Lucas to lose at this moment in time.
I dare say Virgos won't be back next season.
Victory's search for a striker continues. Ever since Bessar Barisha, to be fair, Victory posed that question. Haven't quite reached those heady heights.
I think get all the Toivonen.
I was going to say Toivonen was the next best.
Very fair, very fair.
Fornaroli, although he was ageing.
Yeah.
His best was behind him.
I think he's got a real issue, though.
That wasn't prime Fornaroli. It wasn't the best, yeah.
But he still managed to get the best out of both strikers last year. The competitiveness drew the best out of Virgos and Fornaroli equally, and they went all the way to the grand final, whereas pairing the two here in competition, and Duca and Virgos, hasn't gotten a tune out of either of them to any greater extent, so it hasn't worked.
Cheap giveaway by Adelaide United, although not in a great area for the Victory. They were on the sideline, not much room to move. They draw the contact and get the throw. Jason Davidson will take it. They are in the final third. Adelaide crowding the area. Throws it in towards Piscopo, but there comes the crowd to close in around Piscopo, and Adelaide will clear it upfield. Back over the halfway line. And Victory will go back to their goalkeeper, Jack Wachowski. So the final couple of minutes coming up here. The fourth officials board about to be shown. And it's going to be Melbourne Victory, who have 4 minutes to work with to try and find a goal for a winner. Adelaide United will try and see it through. You'd think now for a draw or maybe a late chance to win this game. Julian Marcus.
So it's victory through Stella. Now Valadon. Valadon threads it to Piscopo. Piscopo still with it. Just outside the arc. They compress and Olagic clears it back to halfway. So we've got another 3.5 minutes to negotiate. It would be a valuable point away from home for Adelaide. It will put them into third, but it will keep them back on Auckland. Oh my goodness, Rendo Piscopo from 30 metres just went past the right-hand post. It was low enough, it was hard enough, but it just wasn't on target. Oh boy, that was singing in the air.
Just bending away, but that is absolutely gorgeous. Reno Piscopo, you almost have forgot to her in full effect here. What a player to call on for the second half of this season on the run home to finals. Good to see him back out there looking fit.
Of course, he scored a goal from about that distance against MacArthur last season in his first home game for victory. That's Adelaide with a minute in change into this 4 minutes of stoppage time in possession. Just retreating into their own half now. Vrenz will back pass to Smits. Adelaide content to play for the draw. Smits will launch it into victory's half. Adana loses his footing, but Adelaide stay with it here. A chance for White. Forces the stop from Wachowski, but they might be caught on the transition here. Grimaldi looking to dictate traffic. Vergos a little static and misses the pass entirely. Kikianis intercepts. Halfway through the 4 minutes now, 1-1. Smits clears it back into victory's half. Loose ball run on to by Duzel. Adelaide entering the attacking third. Was there a push there? No, referee has been pretty consistent with that. So it's been won by Miranda. Victory, it might be their last chance. Davidson finds Grimaldi, closing in on the penalty area. Grimaldi, now to Piscopo, is in the box. Piscopo shoots, blocked by Kito, goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Adelaide aren't committing too many numbers forward. They're just getting players back. I feel like it might seem like the onus is on the victory to win. I think it's on Adelaide not to lose, and that's what they're aiming for here with a minute to go. And they're doing well so far. Just got to navigate 75 seconds.
Esposito now to Miranda. Flicks it to the left. Madonna didn't clear it with the header. Davidson to Miranda. A minute remaining. 1-1 your score. Victory, last chance to get the 3 points. Crossing the box, Vergos didn't make a play at it. It was straight to Smits. And that should be enough for Adelaide to get the result. It's rolled out to the left. Kito will launch a diagonal ball to Madana. Can they get all the points here, Adelaide? They may get a corner. No, that was well done by Santos to time the tackle. Grimaldi being held, he'll win a free kick. There's 20 seconds left. Davidson running to the ball. They're in the defensive third. There's 15 seconds left. Goes back to Wachowski. Now Davidson. They need a miracle victory. Piscopo goes down. Referee unmoved. Rings takes possession. He'll clear it down the ground. 1-1's the score in the season series. 1-1's the score tonight. It goes out for an Adelaide throw-in. We're into injury time of stoppage time. And that is all the time that we will have tonight. 1-1 is the final score. The points are shared. And Auckland get a little bit of a free kick in the battle for second place. Adelaide